Hey there. You catch me on my way to getting all the preview battle arenas made for Masters of Gettown. This is day one of my video blog diary, and it's gonna cover all the things that we do on the way to taking our game from fully developed and ready to go all the way to Kickstarter. My name's John. I'm the designer and co-developer of Masters of Gettown. And me and Daniel Alesh, great guy, met him playing Hearthstone one day, just added friends and started chatting, and then one day he was like, I used to change the D&D rules to make a sort of a gun-based sci-fi adventure for my friends. And I thought, wow, that sounds interesting. He was telling me about the world, about the city of Gettown, and as you can see where this is going. But then one day, he said during the role-play game, there was a little side game where people would throw dice, a bit like the sci-fi version of Dead Man's Dice or whatever it is in fantasy D&D. And he showed me this video. So I'm like, click on YouTube. Here's an account, one video. Started watching it, and it was really intriguing. There's this box. I think the original one was like an octagon, maybe a hexagon, made out of cardboard, and all these guys are throwing dice in it. They're hitting each other, and I'm like, okay, the concept already. I love this mechanic idea, dice hitting dice, and so I was eager to find out more, and we kept chatting about it, and he said it was something he's been playing at home, trying to work out a way to develop it. And I was like, buddy, we've been friends on here for ages, let me help you. I'm a designer, illustrator, like, I think we could do something with this. Cut to 3 years later, here I am, driving to get 5 copies of the game sorted so that we can send it to Scotland, Ireland, America. We've got one going to previewers across the UK, and then there's a great group of YouTubers called Tabletop Anarchy. Met them at the UK Games Expo, and they were so enthusiastic about the game. Like, you could see they were having fun when they were playing it. So we're gonna send them a copy, and they're going to be putting out gameplay videos. We've just about to start a YouTube channel of our own. Dan's been busy doing some commentary on some videos of gameplay. Got 3 people, all versus all, sort of free-for-all game that you'll be able to watch soon. What else? Got some dice coming. Got a really good dice supplier. I'm going to put all the links so that if you guys need laser cut acrylic and you're in Cornwall, because it's pretty local business, or if you need dice in the UK sent to you, like, all the company names will be in the description at the bottom. So really looking forward to this. I'm thinking maybe I'll do some time lapse, or maybe I'll just do some video shots of the arenas being laser cut so you can see how it all goes down and see the process with me. We'll be putting those together. We have a special bendable hinges that we use to hold all the walls together. It's part of a thing I developed in the prototype. As we were going through, we just needed some way to put the walls together. And I went to a fellow sign writer's shop one day looking for some material for something. It was for prototyping the arena in like a sort of a foam board. You see that sometimes when people do prototypes. So I started making an arena with that. I was just taping the walls around a hexagon, just trying to see how it could work. And I look over in the corner, and there's this weird bag of plastic things. So I said to the guy, like, what are these? And, they're just hinges for POS things, like displays for shops. And I looked at it and I thought, this is perfect. This could hold our walls together. It's got a little grip on it. So I phoned up the company, talked about supplying us with hinges for prototypes, and then supplying the manufacturer, because there's no point in them making something from scratch if the perfect thing exists out there in the world. And like being a first time developer, like me and Dan at Earth to Games, we're not starting off rich. So we've been putting like every ounce of energy and time and passion into the development of the game, just to kind of, in my mind, we're making the best game possible that we could play. Like, I played a lot of Magic the Gathering, a lot of TCGs, so I really I've gotten over player elimination in that sense. Like a 1 versus 1 game, it's not even like there's any downtime, so that's where we started the game. We thought, okay, maximum 6 players with the amount of dice that we used in our arena. Start with 1 versus 1 for our playtesting, and we really wanted to get that feel that even though there's a lot of dice involved, especially with our full contact dice mechanic, it's all mitigated chance. Yes, I throw a dice and I've got a 1 in 6 chance of getting a 6, but if I've got 2 more dice that can then throw at that dice, hit it, maybe change it to the number I'm looking for or an equally good one, then I'm not going to say we've gotten over how random dice are, but we've certainly gone a long way to mitigating that randomness. When we started playing the game, our mechanics for adding up and getting the attack score versus the defense score, the variance was crazy when we first started playtesting. We had I've got triple 6s. So you got 6, 12, 18, and then we thought, well, it's a triple, so triple it. 54 damage. Oh, that guy's dead. It was so exciting, but at the same time, like, you imagine like when you're playing a card game or Magic the Gathering, stuff like that. You make a deck, you put things together, you plan the strategy for the entire deck. And that was something that we really wanted to capture in our game. So when we eventually came up with the idea for having equipment for the characters and using the charges that you gain in the game to charge up as ammunition or powering up your shields, then we started to think, okay, so you're not just picking a character which is basically a super move and playing as that person. With the character, you've got an ability that will show whenever you get your lightning bolt in the arena. Every character has a way of like powering themselves up. So during the game, you can level up your character in a sense to a more maximum fighting efficiency. And then with the equipment, that's when we started to really work on putting different strategies into the game. So we have 12 weapons, 6 utility items, 6 healing items, and 6 shields. Now, the quick play rules for the game, you just use the weapons. So everyone's got one weapon, fight out, toe to toe, shooting laser guns, hitting each other's dice, and the game time is reduced because you're just doing damage. And then when we started developing healing and the shield items, then we realized that the game length is potentially going to get a bit longer because people are healing all the time. The amount of hit points in the overall game that you have to get rid of to win is going up. Shields are mitigating damage, so you're doing less damage. And then we developed weapons that were like laser weapons. These ones were unaffected by shields. So yes, some guy's on 1 health, but he's got all the shields under the sun. Well, you shoot the laser pistol, goes through all of those shields and does that 1 damage. You've won the game. And from there, you can see how there's a lot of interplay between the equipment. There's a lot of strategies that can be created. And if you're playing the pro player rules, where at the beginning of the game, all the players taking turns drafting one after another from the overall 30 bits of equipment, you can really see some strategies developing. You'll react to the player before you. What did they pick? How do I beat that? But you also go into the game with a rough idea of the 3 items that you want to play with this character. Something that's going to be a real powerful combo. Everything's got counters in the game, so it's not like one combo beats all, but it's up to the other players to see what you're doing and try and pick a really good item just to get over it and to get round your tactics. Oh, there's a lorry in the road, but we are here at the laser cutting place. Wow, that was fast, right? Just kidding. Time lapse. Showed you guys the walls and the bases being cut out, and then right at the end we've got there's the time lapse of the logos being etched onto the acrylic surface for 1 wall per game. And we're toying around with the idea of maybe offering any kind of retailers that are pledging on Kickstarter for copies to give them the chance to have their shop logo etched into one of the other walls of the 6 walls of the arena, just as a way to kind of like help them with their branding if they want to, like, I don't know, personalize it. So it's the only place you can get the game with this logo on it, and at the same time, just as a reward, like, this day and age, loads of games go on Kickstarter all the time, and retailers are very wary about which Kickstarter game they should or shouldn't get, in case all the fans have already bought it, or it's just hard to guarantee, I don't know, the audience for a new game in a shop like that. I have a friend who runs one, and he's always telling me that you can't risk things like that when it's a small business. But we're going to change his mind. He's my friend Vinny, and his store is Mad for Miniatures, and they were our sponsors at the UK Games Expo this year. So even if we fund on Kickstarter and I just put one of the games in his shop, I'll be happy that we've hit retail in some aspect. Right, so that's the end of today's video blog, and gotta go home, feed the kids, feed the wife, then do some more design work, I think, and we got playtesting tomorrow night. So tomorrow I'll probably do a little video on showing some of the stuff we're working on now for more stretch goals. So stay tuned. Cheers.